Ladies and gentlemen, we want to move to the next session. And our speaker is already here with us. And I want us to move immediately to that session. That is the business of you. Us through Sir Brian Nyambego. He is a global personal branding trainer. And in addition to that, he is an author. So ladies and gentlemen, with all due respect, let's put our hands together for Brian Nyambego as he comes forward to address us.
It's okay. Thank you so much. You can have our seats. How are you guys doing? Hi. Okay. First off, thank you so much for inviting me here today. I think I've been in these sides, but not necessarily in here. Thank you so much. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Stan, good to see you. Nigel, good to see you. Good to see you. You guys look amazing from up here. So my name is Brian Nyambego, a speaker and author and a global personal branding trainer. Today, I'm here for just a few minutes, but I hope whatever I'll be able to teach you for those few minutes, you'll get to understand. It will get to help you to become a way better version of yourself. Now, before I even start my speech, I'll start from where he left from. He told you that in anything that you're doing in this life, you have to be, how can I say it? There's something that you're doing in school, but there's skills that you also need to learn. There is something I tell people most of the times, that a happy payer is always a happy receiver. But as human beings, we never get to do that. You're running an organization, you need a website, but after this, you will still not ask him or follow him. Now, Stan is running a course. You won't join it, but you still expect to become a way better version of yourself. It's very hard. I usually tell people that as much as we want to be lucky, it's understanding that opportunity will always meet preparation. And for me in my life, there are 3 verses that stand tall. Number 1 is Habakkuk 2:2. Habakkuk 2 verse 2 says, and write your vision down, right? So there's a vision that you have, you've written it down. But the question that you need to ask yourself is this: what have I done about it? After Habakkuk 2:2, go read Matthew 7:7. It says, ask and it will be given, knock and the door will be open. So Habakkuk 2 verse 2 is vision. Matthew 7:7 is providence. That you can ask God and he can give you. But after you've asked, what do you go ahead and do? Hebrews 10:35 talks about courage, and your courage will reward you greatly. Let me give you a story. Last year, from the 1st of January to December 31st, I was consistent for a whole year. Leave alone that. Let's start from 2024 December. I remember on the 28th, my TikTok account had around, I would say, is it 28? No, 18th of December 2024. My TikTok account had around 3,000 followers. I went ahead, there's an event I was invited just like this. I spoke about personal branding. A small clip I took, I posted. It went viral. From 2,000 followers to 7,000 followers. So I asked myself, wait. Thank you. So I asked myself, I have this skill. I can talk from 18th of December to 30th, close to 31st of December. I posted consistently every single day, at least 1 or 2 videos. And that got me from 3,000, 7,000, 30,000. So I understood the matrix of how this thing works. Then I promised myself, and also the people that, the community that I'd created around that time of 30,000 people, what if I become consistent for the whole year? Because it takes 3 years for someone to become a new them. For you to be a different version of yourself, it takes 3 years. But what if I compress the 3 years to 1 year and post 3 videos every single day? That is 1,095 videos. I took up the challenge. At first, it was going to be a bit hard, but I took it up. From the 1st day of January last year to 31st of December, I posted 3 videos every single day for a whole year without stop. The days I could post 5, the days I could post 4, but I will never go below that. That is how I've been able to build a community of about 130,000 people right now. That whole year, I got opportunities to train some of the top CEOs in the country. Why? Consistency. Now, if consistency was a person, the question I want you to ask yourself is this: am I willing? Because I was willing to pay the price. One of the greatest things that you can understand is that as much as you are building you also need to understand, why am I building myself? Is it for people around me? Or as human beings, we're very selfish at some point. Selfish from a point of, you have a gift that can help people, thousands of them, but you are not courageous enough to go ahead and take a leap of faith yourself. The leap of faith starts for me, my personal story, whole year, system. Through that, I took one person. His name is Sean. You guys probably know him. Who knows Sean Wangai here on TikTok? Yeah, a couple of you know him. I took Sean in as a mentee. He had 2,000 followers. He told me, Brian, I hate my voice. I told him, are you willing to be committed and consistent? He told me yes. 8 months now, I've trained him from 2,000 followers, 177,000 plus on TikTok. On Instagram, he had 200 followers, right now 48,000. What is the difference? The difference is that three things. So many of us, we don't have teachability, number one. Or you have teachability and you don't have adaptability. Or you have teachability, adaptability, and then you don't have execution. So you are teachable, yes. Stan will come here, he will speak. Nigel will come here, he will speak. Ndege will come here, he will speak. I will speak. But at the end of the day, you will still go home, stay in your house, and do nothing about that you've written in that notebook. The thing is, you have teachability, adaptability, but you don't execute. That is why so many of us in here, you are probably one of the best creators in your industry. You could teach people about finances, but you have not started. Because why? I don't love how I sound. I don't know what the world will say. You will wait for the right time forever. I don't know, but you will wait. You remember when we were in primary school, someone would raise up their hand to give an answer. You have an answer. Lakini utajiambia, siko sure. Someone will raise up their hand, give the answer, and then you'll be like, oh, kumbe answer yangu ilikuwa same na mbona kuinua mkono? That's the question. But the whole thing is we keep doubting ourselves a lot because we want validation from the world. So leo, hata vile ulikuja hapa hivi, you wore an amazing outfit. But when you were about to step out, you said, let me ask my friend, what do you think? How do you think I look? They told you, hiyo tai sioni na kapo. Ukaenda ukatoa, ukarudi, akakwambia, lakini you were not content of what they told you, but you said, as long as they've said, that is okay. Now you've come here with low self-confidence because of what someone told you. So you're not living your life, you're living according to someone else's standards. And that is what we keep doing every single day. I've been doing a series for the past 2 months, teaching people on TikTok at least 5 days a week, every 10 p.m. And one of the things that I've told them is you need to stop seeking for validation from people and start believing yourself from within. You can be the best public speaker, the best in finances. You could be the best in everything. But if you are not starting from within, it will be very, very hard for you to empower people. You come, you speak, you leave, you go. When you get home, you're empty. So what meaning did you leave to people when all you came to do was to impress them? It doesn't make sense. So if anything, today, after this conference, just go home and ask yourself, what am I good at and what can I do about it? Consistency is key. I'm going to launch my second and my third book today. My second book is called Becoming an Extraordinaire. This is a memoir I wrote. It took me 12 months to write it back in 2025, last year. 12 good months. In this book, I talk about personal branding. My clients, the conversations that we've had, how they've gotten from one point to another. It took me this book 2 weeks to write. It's called I'm Super Proud of You. So far, it's among the best that I've written. You might think 2 weeks make it make sense. It took me a whole year to consume for me to write in 2 weeks. But so many of us, as human beings, most of the times is we want what is easy. So you've seen Brian post. He's created a community. You want to create the same community in a week. Very hard. So you post day 1, day 2, day 3. You see 100 views, 10 views. Me, I'm stopping. You guys think I've never had 100 views before? They've been there. But was I discouraged? No. A point of it was when I was in Rwanda. A whole week. You're posting your... imagine the last video you posted when you're in Tanzania went viral, 300,000 views. In Rwanda, the first day you post a video, it gets 50 views. 50 views, probably 10 likes. And then you say, wait, maybe it's not, maybe I didn't say the right words. I posted like that 3 videos every single day for a whole week in Rwanda. The highest got 500 views. But when I came to Uganda, because I was on tour during that period, the first video I posted got 500,000 views. What didn't I understand? Rwanda is in the Central African time, and I'm used to posting the East African time, and there is a time when I usually post. So if I didn't understand that, let's say if I stopped the journey in Rwanda, would I have gone further? No. So that is what so many of us don't understand. And that brings me to the last thing that I'll teach you for the day. It's called the square of life. The square of life has 4 things, and those 4 things is number 1, desire. So on the top side of the square, write desire. Then you can understand. Just draw a square. The top side of the square, just write desire. Desire is when you really want to start this content creation. You want to start this business of yours. There is something that you want to start. You really have that grit. The desire is there. You want to become a photographer, videographer. Good. The desire is there. But question is this. Now, on the right side of the square, write despair. 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 When those moments kick in, when you start doubting yourself, when you post that video gets 10 views, are you willing to persevere and continue going? When that business, the first day it works, second day, third day, fourth day, you've not gotten the profits for a whole week, are you still willing to keep going? Good question. Maybe you've been going for these events, you've been networking with people, but they're not giving you the results. Are you still willing to keep going? On the desire perspective, you have the desire. Now despair kicks in. Are you still willing to continue? So many of us are not willing because you want results very fast, especially in our generation today. We want results today. I've talked to Stan tomorrow. No, it's very hard. Now, on the bottom side of the square, I want you to write something that is called discipline. Discipline. You can have desire. You can beat despair. When you beat despair, you'll understand what discipline looks like. Discipline is when you're willing to show up even when people are not clapping for you. It doesn't matter. If I go to an event, I'm speaking, one of my friends is there and just one of my friends is clapping and no one is clapping. I don't care. I won't seek for validation. I will say it's okay because he's seen me through the craziest moments. You understand? So one of the greatest things that you can do as human beings is, are you willing to still be disciplined regardless of how the world looks at you? Discipline is one of the greatest things that you can have. Personally, it is something that I've mastered. From a point of, I challenged myself last year. I posted 3 videos every single day for a whole year, 1,095 videos. Through the consistency, it works. But the question is, are you a happy payer? Paying doesn't mean money. Paying can mean the time that you put. As a public speaker, there are gigs I've had to go, I've not been paid. The spaces that I go, I don't go expecting to be given money. I go because I know I'm doing this for my generation. I'm speaking to 1 person or 2 people or 3 people in the audience. But you will never do that. Oh, if you guys are calling me, you have to pay me. Okay, cool. We pay you, you go. But do you understand how many people are seated in that room? You don't. I don't know. There could be a next CEO here of a startup. Maybe 3, 4, 5 startups are in here. But the major question is that as human beings, we don't get to understand that. Last year, I was invited to go and speak in Kempinski. So this lady calls me on a Thursday evening. She tells me, hey Brian, how is your Wednesday morning next week? I would want to invite you for an event. I said, let me check my calendar. I checked my calendar. I told her my calendar on Wednesday, it is a bit fair. She told me in the morning at 9 a.m., is it possible you come to Kempinski? Oh, so the location, I took note of that. The locations where the meetings are hosted needs to tell you the type of people who will go there. And then she told me, we're only going to have 60 people. I'm going to send you the list, 60, small number. So that means it is more of a small, intimate meeting. I said, okay. Go ahead, send me the list of the people who are going to be there, and I'm going to prepare. She went ahead, sent me the list on my WhatsApp. The first thing I did is go through the names. I forgot to go through the titles of these people. The names, the first one didn't make sense, the second one, the third one, but the fourth one, very interesting. The CEO of Standard Chartered Bank, Mr. George Kingara. So I said, this is not just a meeting of anyone. It's a meeting that's going to have the who's and the who's. When I checked the other side of the titles, CEO, director, manager, so the CEO of National Bank, Cooperative Bank, Standard Chartered, like all these big cooperatives in Kenya, the CEOs were going to be there. So this guy is called Sunny. Sunny trains the who's and the who's in the country. I didn't realize it was Sunny's PA who called me. And she told me, we don't have a lot to give you, we just have transport. Now imagine if I said no. I was very strategic because I know 60 people in one room, CEOs, all of them, how many people are seated under them. And the conversation they're having is the Gen Z in the marketplace and why they are lazy. Yeah, that's the conversation they were having. So I had to prepare. And the first person that came into mind, again, on that list was George Kingara. So I went ahead and searched about him. On the 19th of October 2019, you can go and check that interview by the CNBC. He was asked a question that if you were to give us 2 memories about your childhood, what would they be? And he said that, number 1, he didn't go to school when he was 5, he went to school when he was 6 because he was stubborn. Number 2 is because the mom empathized with him. That is the only thing I needed. That day I remember very well. On Thursday morning, you in this room, the who's in the country are there. The CEO of DHL stood up, took the mic and asked me, Brian, I have Gen Zs in the office. I'll see them on Friday evening, 5 p.m. They're gone. The next time I'll see them Monday, 8 a.m. That's it. In between, from Friday to Monday, if I call them, they'll ask me, are you adding me money to come to the office? Now, I smiled because I knew I had the answer. I went ahead and I said, I'm going to talk about one of you in the room, and that is Mr. George Kingara. I pointed at him. I said, on the 19th of October 2019, you were interviewed by the CNBC, and you asked a question. If you were to give us 2 memories about your childhood, what would they be? You said, you didn't go to school when you were 5, you went to school when you were 6. Why? You were stubborn. And reason being, your mom was empathetic with you. These guys, the Gen Zs, what they need is empathy. Sit down, understand them, have a conversation. It needs to be an intergenerational conversation, because if you can't do that, it becomes very hard for us. Mr. George Kingara smiled. The CEO of DHL smiled. Mr. Rajan, the CEO of Couple Industries, Jogo, the Pearl Rice, etc., they usually carry all that. He also smiled. After the end of that day, the first person who came up to me was Mr. Rajan. He told me, Brian, did you carry your books? Okay, how much? I can't sell my books. The first book is smaller. On a normal day, you'll sell it at 800. I told him the book goes for 2,000. He said, I need 3 copies. He bought. Now, he told me, I think I'd want us to have a meeting next week. That's how I secured the first meeting with him. I remember the CEO of Jubilee Insurance, Njeri Jomo, came and told me, I have 2 Gen Zs in the house, and I believe you're the person who's right to train them. So let me take your number. How much is your book? Same price. A meeting that you were probably given transport, 3,000, I got out of there with more than 25,000, with close to 5 partnerships. Now imagine if I was quick enough to judge and say that they're only giving me transport and I'm not going. And if it's taken me 3-4 years to build my name. No. I think in our generation today, we don't understand some things. That's why whoever you're becoming, whatever you're doing, money is part and parcel of the process, yes. It makes the process easy. But the whole thing is, sometimes sit back and ask yourself, what am I learning? That is why we're very quick to react, but we never get to respond. Reacting is when someone texts you, you don't even think twice. The second thing is you also throw an insult back. Instead of, hey, let me take a minute and read through these texts. Why did they react like this? And then I'll respond. But we are very quick to react to each other. So what kind of a generation are we creating? A bitter generation? A generation that will go ahead and say, oh, okay, I don't want to mention that in church, but let me spare that for next time. The whole thing is, we just need to sit back and understand how to respond, not to react to issues. To become a better version of yourself, or to become a better CEO, a better team leader, all it takes is within. I could wear one of the best suits, but hey, it doesn't matter what I'm wearing if inside I'm empty. That is why I'll use an example of our celebrities out here. They went so fast to build for achievement, but they never built character. That is why they will always find something to trend for, so that they can remain relevant. But if I say Barack Obama today in the room, all of you know him. Does he have to do anything for you to remember him? No, he's in your head. If I talk about someone who's come forth, they've given one of the best to the world, they won't have to do something for you to remember them. But that is why people keep chasing for the same. So you say, I want numbers, but have you built character? The despair part, did you jump it? That's why most of us, you've done 10, 20 businesses, they have not worked. Because why? You have the desire, you get to despair, you doubt yourself, you go back, another business. Desire, you get to despair, hey, panic, it will work, next one. So what are you doing? it's more of you seeking validation from the world, and even worse, you are training yourself for this to become a habit. A habit is a habit after 29 to 30 days. If it's something that you used to, you did it last month, this month, next day, you will keep jumping from one point to another. And that's why sometimes, again, you find yourself in 45 relationships in a month, and it's just so normal for you. That's not normal. We just need to sit down and ask yourself, wait, by the way, I need to slow down and ask myself, what is wrong? Have a conversation with you, but we never do that. But we still expect to see results. It's very, very hard. And that is why we will keep. You have so many opportunities that are around you, but you haven't just sat down and asked yourself, what am I learning from this situation? And who am I willing to become? My greatest desire in this room today would be to see you guys succeed, to see you guys become better versions of yourself. But all this starts from within. Mine is to tell you that I'm super proud of you. And that's why I wrote my third book. I'm super proud of you. This book talks from within. And after this, I'm going back to town to launch it officially to a small group of people who have seen me in my journey, 60 of them. And then on the 28th of March, launch it officially now to the world. These people have seen me through the most, the craziest. When they were coming, they didn't charge me anything. They didn't tell me that, oh, maybe a CEO who runs a big company. They told me, I'm showing up for you because you've been there for me. You've trained my staff, and this is my time to also show up for you. Now, the biggest thing that you can do for yourself today, sit back and ask yourself, what am I learning from all these situations, and what can I become? Stop reacting, start responding. Stop being the person who's looking for validation every now and again. Start from desire, beat despair, go ahead, be disciplined. You will find delight. The last part of the square is delight, so you can write that. Delight is when you start getting the results. You paid your first check. Your first relationship has flourished for like 3-4 years, and you're like, wait, what did I do different? Now you're seated, your teammates, you don't get to tell them everything anymore. They just tell you, hey, you sit back. We are your sheep, and we need to make you comfortable so that you can be more creative. So you don't fight yourself anymore. But you will never get to that version of yourself if you don't start from within. You need to heal yourself from within, and then it ends up without. 2 things that I've learned, and they can help you today and forever. That is all I came to tell you here today. Just a few minutes, and then that's it. But as I leave here, I want to tell you one thing. You'll only become a better version of yourself if you make that decision today. If you leave this room and you're still the same person, totally different. These sessions, there is someone who today, ameenda sherehe, lakini umekuja hapa, you sat down, you've had this, but quick question, you'll be the same as him or her if you don't take this into consideration. Very, very hard. So as I leave the podium, I'm to say, or maybe tell all of you, that I'm super proud of you. Keep doing your thing. Don't let like anything that you're doing or people, or the environments that you sit in, they matter a lot. So put yourself in. If it means high value environments, put yourself there. If someone is hosting a program that can teach you communication skills, there's something they know that you don't know, join. Do something, a skill. You need a website, go to Nyambego. Let him make a good website for yourself for purposes of presentation. But that is without. Now within, have you decided? The choices are on your hands. You either say no or you either say yes. For me, I said yes, and I've seen how far that has taken me. So today, I leave you with that, and I want to say thank you so much for everyone who's organized this. Now, as I step out, I want to step out just with respect, because I could have stayed here for a whole hour, 2 hours or 3, but I have to be in town because the event starts at exactly 2 p.m. My team is also waiting for me. But I want to say thank you so much. I hope this helps you to become a way better version of yourself today, and you achieve the most. But before I leave, it will be very much the biggest injustice if I don't call one of my mentees, someone who has known me for the longest, to just come and say hello. You can say his name, what he does, and maybe just a word. Hezron, you can come. You can just clap for him as he comes.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon again. I'm so honored to be here today with Brian. Brian has been a great asset for me, not just as a brother, but also as a mentor to me. And I'm so happy to be here today. I just want to tell Franklin, I'm proud of you, man. Keep on building. I'm so happy to see what you're doing to our generation. And also to the speakers that have come today, thank you so much for showing up for our generation. And I believe also, as the generation we had today, I'm also proud of you guys for showing up for yourselves to become a better version of you. And I know that the next coming years, we're going to elevate this country. Namchukwe kura. Asante sana.
Thank you so much. So I'm gonna give Franklin at least, I don't know if there is anybody here who knows about the event. I know a few people here. I've seen some familiar faces. For those who would want to attend the event on the 28th, I'll give Franklin at least 80 tickets and he'll share them with you so that you guys can be able to attend, right? So thank you so much. May God bless you and have a gracious one. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Brian. Thank you so much and may God bless you. Stop seeking validation from the world. And stop reacting, start responding. So, guys. So, with the same energy, I'm taking this opportunity to invite Hillary. Who will take us through from here. Welcome, Hillary.